Longtime lurker here, but I told a friend about this and he convinced me to share this as my first post. So, a little bit of background. I have this hunting club in Louisiana of around 2,000 acres of land, and I have hunted all my life. From walking back to my truck with the light on my phone because I forgot my headlight, surrounded by a pack of howling coyotes, to being attacked by cottonmouths and wild hogs, there isn't much in these woods that scares me anymore. But this unnerves me. Every year during squirrel season, I go to a location on the property called Fluker's Bluff, which is dense with oak trees for the squirrels, and has a few small graveyards that date back to the early 1800s. I know this area very well because it's also my go-to deer hunting spots, so I spend a lot of time there. I've noticed a trend now where the only times this ever occurs is during this time of year. I enter the bluff and wander aimlessly around, going deeper and deeper into the woods, keeping an eye out for any movement in the trees or a flicker of a tail. After a while, I come to a point where I have a choice. Ahead is a dense swamp of mud, grass, flooded forest, and cypress knees. Alternatively, I could turn left or right into the gullies. No matter my choice, the result is the same. Typically, I follow the gullies, which always meets with other gullies, but this is different. There's a place where these gullies meet in a perfect triangle. The triangle opening is fairly large and the ground is entirely sand. Beach-like sand with only a few small beech trees in the center. In the center at the base of the tree is a rock in the shape of a human skull. Every time have ever found this place, I never realize I have entered this opening until I have found myself directly in the center of it. It's like I'm on autopilot, and I have no idea how I got there or where it is in relation to any other landmark. I just somehow end up in the triangle every time. This is a common area where the members of my club hunt during squirrel season, so I decided to ask around. They have never seen it. So one year, my dad decided that because we normally hunt alone and he missed the old days when I was little and we hunted together, that he wanted to tag along with me. We ended up in the triangle. I showed him the rock and told him that this is what I was talking about and that I wasn't joking around. But when we returned back to camp, I brought it up, and he had no memory of this encounter. I picked up the rock and placed it in his hands. That seems like something that would be hard to forget, and yet he remembers nothing of it. I go again the next year with my cousin that I've hunted with for many years, but we got separated and I ended up in the triangle all the same. He ends up finding himself miles away from our four-wheeler on the other side of the forest off of our property, which is surrounded by barbed wire fences that he would have had to cross to get there. He knows that the fences mark the end of our property and would not normally cross it, but instead of turning around to the straight shot back to the four-wheeler, he ends up on the highway miles past the fence and had to hitchhike back to the four-wheeler hours later with no memory of crossing the fences. Something strange is going on in these woods, and I keep feeling myself drawn to the triangle. I need to get to the bottom of it. I need to find the skull. Its image is burning itself into my eyelids. I can hear it calling to me. I must find it again.